In a world where justice is the bedrock of society, we delve into a case that tested the boundaries of procedural fairness, the Kemper case. Procedural fairness, a cornerstone of justice, is the principle that ensures everyone gets a fair and unbiased hearing. It's the legal expectation that all parties involved in a dispute have the right to be heard and the opportunity to present their case. But what happens when these rights are challenged, or worse, perceived to be denied? The answer to this question is found in the intriguing saga of Mr. Kemper, a man who found himself at the heart of a legal battle that not only determined his financial future but also set a precedent in the interpretation of procedural fairness. So buckle up as we journey through this intriguing legal saga, exploring the nuances of the law and how active participation can make or break a case. Our tale begins in the heart of the legal battlefield, where Mr. Kemper found himself embroiled in a dispute over property settlement. The stakes were high, and the spotlight was on procedural fairness. This principle that lies at the heart of our justice system was about to be put to the test. The narrative of this case unfolded like a drama on the stage of the courtroom. It all started with Mr. Kemper alleging that he was denied procedural fairness. He claimed that he wasn't given a fair chance to present his case effectively. The sword of justice, he argued, had been blunted by the court's unfair conduct. But as the curtain rose on the proceedings, a different picture emerged. The court pointed out that Mr. Kemper had ample opportunities to submit materials and make submissions, but chose not to. His non-compliance with court orders became a significant point of contention. He had declined the judge's invitation to make submissions and refused to file necessary materials. His actions, it seemed, were undermining his own case. Mr. Kemper's claim that the judge should have explained ways to rectify his failure was also addressed. The court noted that he had previously sought an adjournment through affidavits, indicating his awareness of the option. His argument in this case seemed to falter under scrutiny. The court also examined the references made by the primary judge to Mr. Kemper's earlier material. These references were factual and based on previously submitted documents, constituting no procedural unfairness. The court ruled that this did not constitute a breach of the principles of procedural fairness. Finally, the court scrutinized Order 14, which required Mr. Kemper to cover any shortfalls from property sales. The court concluded that this order did not constitute procedural unfairness, as Mr. Kemper had every opportunity to address this matter. As the battle raged on, the central issue revolved around one key concept: procedural fairness. This case was a stark reminder of the importance of active participation in legal proceedings and the critical role of procedural fairness in the administration of justice. With the dust settled, the verdict was in, and it was not the outcome Mr. Kemper had hoped for. The court ruled that he had been afforded every opportunity to present his case and participate actively in the proceedings. The court's reasoning was meticulous and thorough. It pointed out that Mr. Kemper had been given ample chances to submit materials and make submissions, yet he chose not to take advantage of these opportunities. This lack of action, according to the court, was not a violation of procedural fairness but rather a reflection of Mr. Kemper's own choices. The court also noted Mr. Kemper's non-compliance with court orders, his refusal to file necessary materials, and his declining of the judge's invitation to make submissions. These actions, or rather inactions, were viewed as missed opportunities to present his case effectively. The court further addressed Mr. Kemper's claim that the judge should have explained ways to rectify his failure. The court pointed out that Mr. Kemper had previously sought an adjournment through affidavits. This demonstrated his awareness of the procedures and his ability to use them when it suited him. The court also scrutinized the references made by the primary judge to Mr. Kemper's earlier material. It ruled that these references were factual and based on previously submitted documents. Therefore, these references did not constitute procedural unfairness. Lastly, the court examined Order 14, which required Mr. Kemper to cover any shortfalls from property sales. The court concluded that this order did not constitute procedural unfairness, as Mr. Kemper had every opportunity to address this matter, but failed to do so. In conclusion, the court found that Mr. Kemper's claims of procedural unfairness were unfounded. He had been given every opportunity to present his case but chose not to take them. This verdict set a precedent, emphasizing the importance of active participation in legal proceedings. The Kemper case was more than just a property settlement dispute. It was a case that highlighted the essence of procedural fairness. This landmark case served as a crucial reminder that procedural fairness is not merely a passive promise, but an active commitment that requires participation from all parties involved. In the heart of the case, Mr. Kemper argued that he was denied procedural fairness, but the court saw things differently. It was established that procedural fairness does not mean simply showing up in court. It means actively participating in the process, adhering to court orders, and taking every opportunity to present your case. This case underscored the importance of proactivity in legal proceedings. It's not enough to merely attend hearings and file documents. Instead, one must engage with the process, respond to the points raised by the other party, and present arguments and evidence in a timely and effective manner. The court's verdict also highlighted the importance of compliance with court orders. Mr. Kemper's refusal to file necessary materials and his decline to make submissions when invited were noted as missed opportunities. These actions, or rather inactions, led to his ultimate downfall. The court highlighted that Mr. Kemper was not a passive participant in the proceedings. He had the opportunity to take an active role in shaping the outcome of his case, but by ignoring court orders and failing to present his case effectively, he effectively forfeited his right to procedural fairness. The impact of the Kemper case on procedural fairness is profound. It reminds us that the legal process is not a one-way street. It requires active participation, engagement, and compliance from all parties involved. It's a stark reminder that no matter how fair the proceedings may seem, without active participation, the essence of procedural fairness remains unfulfilled. In the grand scheme of justice, the Kemper case serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of procedural fairness, providing valuable lessons for future legal battles.